Alright, hi there, Frank here, and welcome to the channel. Now, it's been a hot minute since I've done a video like this, and I have been wanting to share my feelings on the current state of the VR industry with all of you that are around. Because honestly, this was a PSVR 1 channel. Like, no joke about it. Seriously, man, I just dipped and now we're back, and PSVR 1 basically doesn't exist anymore. I'm sure there were people that are still playing it, without a doubt. And to those of you out there, honestly, kudos to you, because it truly is an amazing device. But you really got to go through a lot to get that baby going. And as much as I tried to make it easy for you, I mean, let's not doubt ourselves. There were wires galore, fat wires galore, boxes galore. So happy to be in the second generation of PSVR 2. But I digress. Now back to PSVR 1. I truly think that PSVR 1 in its day and age was the king and all be all of a VR experience. Yes. When we're talking to full-on, complete, this and that, I'm talking consumer experience. PC VR, you could do some crazy stuff, but you needed a crazy rig. And when it came to wireless headset, there was really no option. Now, Quest 1 did come out at the end of not really the end, but in PSVR 1 cycle, but I don't think it really got as adopted as quick as it needed to. It felt like much more of just kind of a prosumer device. It didn't really hit those consumer levels. Now, fast forward to the end of PSVR 1, the beginning of Quest 2. Quest 2 hit pretty hot right at the start, and it has only continued to go since there. And what it has taught me, at least, and something that I had believed since the start, because honestly, I thought back to like if I was a kid and I was handed the option of, hey, you can have this thing that you play in your hands and you play on a screen, or I could take this device and enter a different world and play with people and do whatever the hell I want and be whoever I want and play all these crazy games and punch and swing and... Are you kidding me? Where in anybody's mind that is not a child do you think that a kid would turn down a VR headset and pick something else? I truly have seen tons of kids with VR headsets and they spend so much time in them. They love them. It is one of their favorite things on planet Earth. And what that tells me is that the future is VR. I had already believed it, and we, I'm sure, already knew this, but there's no going back now. I'm sure at one point in time the industry was a little scared, and right now you are seeing issues in the VR industry, but the thing is that's echoed over the entire gaming and entertainment space, and if we're being truly honest, the entire world. I mean, come on, like... As we all know, we're just trying to have a good time and enjoy virtual reality here, so we won't go deep onto that, but you know what I'm saying? Life is a very difficult place, and so it's a very tough spot, and so it's really nice to have different VR and different things. But I forgot where I'm going. The kids are playing the VR. When they're playing the VR, they're being extremely physical in the VR, and they're moving around and they're doing all this and that. And when you have a tethered device, it's just not as possible, on top of the fact that it's a premium device. So I'm pretty sure that we're just not seeing as many kids buying a PSVR 2. This in no way says the PSVR 2 is bad. I think it's an amazing device. I think the controllers are phenomenal. I think the headset is phenomenal. It does get a tiny bit uncomfortable after very long play sessions. There's something about, I like the foam, but I understand why they didn't use the foam, because the foam got disgusting over time, and I don't think this will get anywhere near as disgusting over time, and I'm pretty sure the longevity of this headset for overall use versus the previous one will be much better. But, I mean, come on, there's some certain options. You got to do this and that. I know that there are definitely some third-party options out there. I'm not aware of those because I haven't been paying as much attention, because I've just been hopping in and out. I honestly just take the rubber thingy off too. It's like an extra pair of glasses for me. When I was playing, you get to this certain point. But regardless, what I'm saying is that VR right now overall is in this era where it's all about like movement and doing this and that and doing this and that, which is great. And I understand it, and that is the space that is doing really well at the moment, and I really believe in Quest 2. I have a Quest 3, I have a handful of, I have all the Quest devices. I think they're great, I think they're awesome. If you haven't played with one, you can get one for like $249 now. It's nuts. It's completely worth it, it's too much fun. But it's an entry point. So I think that I've seen a big discussion these days, and you'll notice this with the Quest 3 and with the Quest 2, is that there's the hand tracking update. PlayStation VR 2 doesn't have this. I don't know if Sony's ever going to try to do that in the future with the headset. Zero idea whatsoever. But I mean, if they do and they enter that world as well and they continue to do this and that, it's a new thing. I think that there are absolutely going to be certain people, because when I'm in there, when I want kind of ease of use and I'm just doing some basic things, I really like using my hands. So we're starting to see this separate. We've got people in headsets now. We've got people hyped on the VR. We've got people that want to get interested in VR, probably going to get interested. There's no, like I said, there's no going back. In my opinion, flat games will become arcade games one of these days, because you'll just be playing in your headset on like a giant flat screen in the middle of Mexico or somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be playing on a TV anymore. I'm sorry, it's true. I don't think displays as they exist today will exist in the future. It's all just waste that we're having around us. So I've tried my best not to continue to just get those waste. We all do it. We all got the waste. But what I'm saying is, within like 20 years, the TV's not gonna exist. TV ain't gonna be the thing like it was anymore. They'll be used in maybe, honestly, since projectors have come out, and especially some of the high quality projectors I've seen, it's nuts. But back to VR. So what I'm seeing is the hands and the controllers, right? I saw that as like a big discussion lately. I'm trying to get into where things are going, showing my point of view. You know, you get what's going on. All right, so what I think that there are going to be options with the hand. What me personally, I need the feedback. And I think that it separates itself into two different types of players, and I don't mean this in any bad terms or any bad ways at all, but I think that there's people that are hopping into virtual reality and having a good time, and then I think that there's people that are in virtual reality. And I think those that are in virtual reality are always going to be kind of looking for the next way to really get that feedback into their system. You know what I mean? Like it's a really nice loop that you're gonna get. I think that the hands are great, but I think that because we still have bodies, don't get me wrong, like, you still want some kind of tactile feel, and for the moment, controllers are the only option. One day I'm assuming, like Matrix style, we'll be able to plug in and do this and that, but we're absolutely not there yet. And when that happens, yeah, there's not gonna be any controllers. There's no point in controllers. You are the controller. I mean, you already are the controller, but you be the controller with the controller. You know what I mean? So really, in the future, no, there's not gonna be any more controllers, but for the time being, we're still in a very, very early phase of this next medium, which makes me, out of this entire discussion, into where my brain has been at these days. So this is really the whole point of the video. We just had to kind of build up to that, is that where I see in the future of virtual reality and all this and that. So you've seen this, there's all these big discussions, this and that. We gotta, like, the planet, terrible, ruin, this, that. Understandable, get it, 100%, 100%. Like, it's getting rough, it's getting bad out there. And yes, there's this option that people are saying, like, oh, we could go to Mars, right? Woo, we go to Mars, we'll go to some other planet or some other place. But honestly, I think that the next evolution of humans is a different place all in general. Like, I think that we will eventually be able to figure out how to get, like, the consciousness to some kind of within the system that we've already built. So, like, within our, like, mechanical computers that we've built. And I think these VR goggles are basically, like, if you think about it, your first kind of viewport into that dimension that will eventually be something that you're much more checked out into, to the point to one day you could possibly fully check out. No idea whatsoever. I can't assume what the future holds, but my big fear in all of this is who's gonna be the one that takes us and puts us in there, because I really think that that's the future. I don't think there's any way around. I mean, there might be, don't get me wrong, but I really think that the best way for humans to evolve is kind of I think at this point in time, I guess we're more than, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's a whole philosophical discussion right there. Because I enjoy having a body. I do fun stuff. I dance all the time. I cook. I do all this and that. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to, like, do this right now. I wouldn't be goofing around talking to you. I'd just be, you know what I mean? And that's gonna probably be a thing one day, but we're not quite there yet. So it's a deep one, and that's kind of what I'm worried about. And that's kind of where I see the projected future, is that Quest 2 is really doing well right now. So the person that's creating this stake within this virtual, you're gonna want kind of a seamless transition into these worlds that you're already fairly used to, right? You're not gonna want some company that comes up and is just like, hey, we got this thing for you, and you can just put your body in there. What the hell? No. But if you are already in these worlds and you already have this kind of feeling like you're already sort of there and things get, I don't know, the rich keep getting richer, let's just put it that way. If you're offered that option, who knows how you're gonna feel at that point in time in the future, and do you really want, like, who do you want to control your soul? Because I think that it'll get, I don't know, deep, but I don't know, but it could get to that point. And if it got to that point, I just fear for Meta. I don't know, you know what I mean? I mean, they got some good vibes, some bad vibes. I really enjoy the headset. I really enjoy the software. But there's that deeper evil to everything. And there's a couple other companies that are trying to like vie for control, this and that. But I really think that like games and that entertainment, it's like, that's gonna be like the gateway drug a bit to it. And that's what fear, I don't know, I guess that's the fear that I have right now. I mean, there's tons of other fears in life. And I just want to make sure that whoever is the like owner of the future reality or the metaverse. So the metaverse, I guess we never talked about that. We'll have to go to that. So that's my thing, the metaverse. So that's what I think the metaverse is the gate to. But who's going to be the one that lays that initial foundation? Because everybody's talking about it, but it doesn't exist. Like if I go to a computer and I type www whatever, I go to a website. So there is this back network catalog of all this stuff that is all connected and all this. That would be theoretically the metaverse for this other reality or this other universe, and that doesn't exist. Like no one can tell you that that exists. The closest thing, in my opinion, to that is something like Rec Room. You know what I mean? Because they have how many users they have that you can check in, you can go into all these different little doors, you can go into, but that still isn't that. That's not like real estate. That's not some it's got no stake in whatever. It needs a connected stake. If it's not all connected, which is gonna all have to be connected, I don't really know. I don't know. Those are the I've never thought, I don't understand the science behind it all or the mathematics behind it all. I can get a bit of design. I can see a bit of like where things are going, but I'm not 100% sure on how those things are being built and who's going to build those. And my hopes are just that good people build them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've just in time lately learned that you just gotta be nice and you gotta be loving and you gotta be kind, which is, I don't know, it's a hard lesson to learn. I think growing up, I kind of learned that love and appreciation and the things you give to people were transactional. That's the word. That's the word I always got. That's transactional love. You know what I mean? And it was until recently that I'd realized that like I'd been doing everything right, but I hadn't actually been doing it. I'd been that like super fake it till you make it, where it was like, you know what I mean? And it would like, it sucked. And so coming to that full-on realization was great. And that's how I'd like to continue pushing forward. So I just want to push for a really, really good future where I think future reality is a beautiful space. Because I think that because of how media consumption's gone and because of how things have been pushed and agendas and all this and that, I do think that we're getting much more like body positive and much more like you can be your own self, but I do think that people are still being alienated in those senses. Like they're even like, I don't know, grouping themselves. And I think VR opens the space to a lot more of just dropping these external factors that build up your insecurities and letting you truly just exist in a fun space with other fun people and not judge them at a level. Like I'm sure that there's people that are like mean in reality that are great in virtual reality and vice versa, because you can get rid of the, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I've always not had the biggest problem being myself. I just don't care, I guess, not in a bad way, you know what I mean? It's like, we're here for whatever and whoever and just be you. And like, I don't know, like, I think that like you're just you. You know what I mean? You can't be anybody else. You can try to be other people, but in my experience, that's like blown up in my face every single time. And I'm thinking, what's funny is that this was supposed to be a VR video, and we've gotten a lot deeper than a VR video, so I hope you don't mind that. But honestly, that's it. That's what I'm thinking about right now. That's where your boy's at. That's where he sees VR going. AR's coming in. AR's cool. I'm really hyped for the Apple Vision Pro. Like, I don't think I can afford that if we're being honest. Like, that'd be dope. But at the moment, your boy ain't got like a real job. I got a restaurant job. I'm probably gonna have to get another restaurant job. I'm helping small devs on the side and hoping that could turn into something. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I don't want to push them or hit them. It's hard to make art. It's hard to make games and to like, I don't know. I got passion and soul and love for it, and I don't think that love is gonna go anywhere else. And I think that at the end of the day, that's where I really found I felt good in the channel because it felt like you were helping people. I didn't realize what I'd been doing, but I'd been helping smaller teams that just couldn't get the awareness previously, and like, why not? Like, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't do that, why you shouldn't try to make the people that are trying to make things that are fun. And it's very easy to tell who's just trying to suck money out of you and who's trying to make a really good game. Like, we're not stupid in this day and age. So I think that the people that are just at least trying their best deserve it. They deserve your help. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm worried the video is not recording you. 1 second for anybody still watching. We're good. I think it's got a time limit. I want to make sure I hit the time limit. I didn't expect this video to go as fast or as long as it went. I don't really know. I'm not checking the timer. I'm just kind of chatting and talking and I don't know, thinking. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not sure what the future holds. I'm trying to, like I said, work with small creators and see if they want to work with small devs to try to raise awareness of really cool games and really cool titles, because it's all about the marketing budget, dudes. Like, don't get me wrong, visuals are nuts. Visuals are great, but when you see, like, unless you get very lucky with like a little viral hit or this and that, a lot of the games that are picked up are the ones that had like big budget trailers, or the ones that are able to kind of get their voice out there more. Yes, get lucky, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of devs get lucky, but there's more than a lot of, there's more people that are making really great stuff and should at least be given the opportunity to feel good about their project and feel like it went somewhere, so that they don't give up and they can continue to iterate. Because maybe their first game isn't that great, maybe their second game isn't that great, and maybe but they're getting better, they're learning, and if the people just drop them or nobody's able to see them, or they're spending so much time trying to build a better project that they can't spend the time to get it out there. They don't have the team. It's really hard for a lot of people that kind of work in, I think, an artistic and creative medium to sometimes focus on more than one thing at a time. If you really want to do your best, you really have to kind of hone in on that single thing. If you add anything else into the mix, it muddies the water, and you don't want to muddy the water because the water should be as clean as can be. And so this is, I don't know, like, let's try to do everything we can. Anybody still watching? I really appreciate y'all checking out the channel. It's been a hot minute, as we know. I don't know why I said that 4 or 5 times. I don't say that often. I might say it and just don't pay attention enough to myself. But it's been a while since we've just hung out, done a video. It's been a while since I've been on the channel. It's been a while since I've really done anything. I'm gonna keep up with the news stuff. I think people dig the news stuff. But I don't know, the reviews, I can do the reviews, but I feel bad, like, I'm not gonna like clickbait or push any of this or that. So if y'all want reviews, it's more like certain titles or things you're worried about, I'm more than welcome to check out, and I'm not gonna give you the yelling blah blah blah. Like, I'll be goofy every now and again, but I don't feel like playing bad games where I don't feel like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do bad games, so we're not gonna do those. And if they're good games, I'm just gonna talk about the good stuff. So the reviews are fine. I can keep doing those, and I can point stuff out and say this and that, but I've gotten past the point of, like, I don't know, that kind of content creator. I don't want to clickbait y'all. I don't want to do that. I mean, if it means more views, I get it, but I guess my integrity means more than that. And I want to just continue from this point forward. I don't know, being honest. And I had a stupid video that was gonna be like, how to help you get the best PSVR experience. And I was gonna yell and tell you guys, like, I could have made it a 20-second video, you kidding me? And that's a realization I made, that there's a lot of people that can make 20-second videos and they don't. And I try, you guys, try to make it pretty freaking, I will beep that out, but tight. Yeah, I don't want to waste your time. Like, your time is the most important thing that you have, so don't let people waste it. I will never do that. I mean, today I'm wasting on this video, but I'm gonna put, the title will say something like long-winded. I don't know, something I'll come up with so it doesn't feel like if you're watching it, you don't, I mean, you're gonna see it's long. You're not gonna click on like a 15-minute video or whatever, and it could be longer than that by now. And then and then just keep going. So let's see who's gonna be down to watch it, who feels how I feel. Please let me know in the comments below. I really hope you're doing okay. I'm doing, you know what I mean? I try to stay positive. I think it's all about thinking good and realizing that, I mean, you don't really have as much control over anything but yourself. So just keep yourself happy and do good things and follow your heart and just try to keep, I don't know, busy. Like, I hate that we have to work. I wish that we could just be happy and make music and play and frolic all day. But sadly, like the reality and the story that we've created, I didn't create it, but you know what I mean, does not allow for that in the current time and space. So that's another perk. That cool future could allow for that a lot more. It could allow for a lot more frolic. But yeah, thank you for coming through. Frank here. Freaking subscribe. I mean, come on. Nah.